Alright, we're back. Predictions. So, yeah. So I am currently 50 and 30, and last week I went 13 and 3. That is going to be pretty hard to beat, and I mean, I can't beat it because there's going to be only 14 games this week because 4 teams do have a bye week. The teams that have the bye weeks are the 49ers, who are currently 2 and 3, the Saints, who are currently 3 and 2, the Jets, who are currently 1 and 4, and the Falcons, who are currently 2 and 3. With that out of the way, Thursday at 8:20 p.m. we have the Buccaneers, who are 4 and 1, at the Eagles, who are 2 and 3. Buccaneers blowout win against the Dolphins. I expected that because Tom Brady knows the Dolphins better than any other quarterback. And the Eagles, beat the Panthers, who I personally feel like should have been a loss for the Eagles. The Panthers did have a really bad game, but I suppose, they did win. But I am going to take the Buccaneers in this game. So moving down to our 1 o'clock games, I know this game is 9:30, but there's a hole in my notebook to know, like, where you'd put, like, a binder or whatever. So I can't put 9:30. So we're just going to call this 1 o'clock game. We have the Dolphins at the Jaguars. The Jaguars, who usually play at least one game in London every year. And the Dolphins blowout loss against the Buccaneers. Jaguars blowout loss against the Titans. Um, this is where I'm 50-50 on. This is probably the hardest game for me to predict. I am gonna currently go with the Dolphins, but if I change my pick, just look on Twitter before every game. No, the Thursday 20 at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. This is all in Eastern time, by the way. 1 o'clock, 4:05, all of that. I'm going to pick the Dolphins for now. Now getting into our actual 1 o'clock games, we have the Chiefs, who are 2 and 3, at Washington, who are 2 and 3. Chiefs had a pretty bad loss to the Bills, and the Washington, had an okay loss to the Saints. I am going to take the Chiefs still. I feel like the Chiefs, they really are not trying to fall behind in their division. They're already behind 2.5 games. I mean, you just don't want to keep falling farther and farther behind, especially when the Chargers seem to be one of the better teams in the league. I'm going to take the Chiefs. Next, we have the Rams, who are 4 and 1, at the Giants, who are 1 and 4. The Rams came away with a win last week, pretty expected, against the Seahawks, by 9. Um, on Thursday. So they got an extra, few days to prepare for this game. And then the Giants, I mean, they lost. What team did they lose to? I do not remember. They lost to the Cowboys. That is right. Pretty bad. I am gonna take the Rams. The Rams are playing like a top 5 team in the NFL, hence why I have them ranked in the top 5 in my power rankings. I'm not gonna spoil where, but you should go watch it if you haven't. I'm gonna take the Rams for that reason. Um, Texans at Colts. Texans, who are 1 and 4, at Colts 1 and 4. Texans choked away their win against the Patriots, and the Colts choked away their win against the Ravens. I think they're two underrated teams. Well, I think the Colts are. I think the Texans could be it. They still had Tyrod Taylor. He unfortunately did get injured. So, yeah. I am going to take the Colts, though. I feel like the Colts, they've been playing like the better team. The Texans had an impressive Week 1 win, and after that, they've kind of fallen off. And the Colts have kind of stayed in every game they've played in, but just weren't able to pull off the win. So next we have the Bengals, who are 3 and 2, at the Lions, who are 0 and 5. The Bengals lost against the Packers in overtime with like how many missed kicks? 8 missed kicks total in that game. I was actually there for that game. Me and my cousin. I was pretty happy with the outcome. My cousin wasn't. Uh, and the Lions kind of doing what the Bengals did. Well, no, not the Bengals. Shoot, the Colts did, except not as bad. They lost to the Vikings. They drove down the field. They had 35 seconds left and 2 timeouts. They gave the Vikings, and they managed to let them kick the game-winning field goal. I am going to take the Bengals, though, but I wouldn't be shocked if this was a trap game. Next, I have the Packers, who are 4 and 1, at the Bears, who are 3 and 2. The Packers, you know, I can't say great win against the Bengals. It was a bad game for kickers. It was a bad week for kickers. I mean, there was like 13 missed kicks that week, most ever, I believe. And the Bears, I mean, they pretty easily beat the Raiders. I actually predicted that upset. A lot of people didn't. Um, I am gonna take the Packers though. I feel like the Packers, they're trying to create separation because they do have a rougher stretch, coming up. So they're trying to get as much separation as they can, but the Bears and the Vikings are staying right there. Next, I have the Chargers at the Ravens. The Chargers coming off of a pretty bad win against the Browns. Neither of those teams had much of a defense. It was more of a, all right, what team can drive down the field faster and score a touchdown? Basically, whoever started out with the ball. At the Ravens impressive come from behind win against the Colts. I do have the Chargers winning this game though. I feel like the Chargers, kind of like how the Packers are, trying to create separation. Arguably the toughest division in football. I'd say top 3 easily. I mean, the only team that's under 500 is the Chiefs. Shockingly, I mean, how the Chiefs out of all teams under 500 in that division. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers though. Next, I have Vikings at Panthers. The Vikings coming off in a, come from behind last minute drive win against the Lions, and the Panthers losing to the Eagles. I'm gonna take the Vikings in this game. I feel like the Vikings, I mean, depending on who loses against the Packers Bears, they would move up a spot if the Bears lose, and they'd be closer in that, division if the Packers lose. The Panthers, they kind of had an easy stretch, and now that they're facing some more difficult teams, well, the Eagles are very difficult. They're kind of showing their true form. I'm gonna take the Vikings. Now going down to our one and only 405 game due to the bye week for our 4 teams. I have the Cardinals at the Browns. The Cardinals 5-0, keeping their undefeated streak. Only team in the NFL. Beating the 49ers last week. Not very easily, but I did expect that. It was a divisional game. You'd expect that. And the Browns losing to the Chargers. I didn't expect that, but I did expect an outcome similar to that with a very high, close scoring game. I am going to take the Browns, though. The Browns are 3-2. They don't want to fall behind the Ravens and potentially Bengals or let the Steelers catch up. They're trying to stay in that playoff picture. It may be week 6 already, or just past week 5, but still, I mean, this is kind of where the teams start to show if they're legit or not, or if they're kind of in the middle of the pack. And, I mean, the Browns, they've had a rough stretch, so going to take the Browns with the upset. Going into our 425 games, we have the Raiders, who are 3-2, at the Broncos, who are 3-2. Raiders losing their head coach, John Gruden. I'm not going to talk about what happened. I think what he did was wrong, whether it was from 2011 or 2018. It was better back then, but it still wasn't okay. We're not going to really get into that, though. Because I don't tend to like to talk about, messed up topics like that. And the Broncos, who are 3-2. Broncos losing to the Steelers. The game was close, but, well, the score says it was. It really wasn't. Steelers dominated that whole game. And the Raiders got kind of blown out by the Bears. I am going to take the Raiders, though. I feel like the Raiders are the more complete team now that the Broncos are facing somewhat competitive teams. They're starting to, shift towards that bad spot. That's where I did originally have them. I knew they'd be one of the worst teams in the league. Kind of, in the 10 through 16 draft spot is kind of where I had them. Next, we have the Cowboys at Patriots. The Cowboys, who are 4-1, just tearing up. Barely lost to the Buccaneers in week 1, and after that, they've been on a streak. And the Patriots come from behind, win against the Texans. I actually have the upset of the Patriots winning this game. I feel like the Cowboys kind of will be taking a chill pill. It's like, oh, it's the Patriots. They're without Tom Brady, and you've seen how they've been playing. They barely beat the Texans. I think they won't be that prepared. I think the Patriots are. Bill Belichick is not trying to drop the 2-4 this early on. He's coming out blazing. Next, at the 8:20 Sunday Night Football, we have the Seahawks at Steelers. The Seahawks, close-ish game to the Rams. They couldn't pull it together, though. And the Steelers with a great win against the Broncos. I am taking the Seahawks to win this game once again. It's kind of just a divisional thing. Even with the Steelers losing, I mean, they're still kind of in the competition for second in that division with the Bengals and Browns. But the Seahawks, I mean, with the Cardinals being currently 5-0 and the Rams being 4-1, if both those teams win, it's kind of going to be hard for them to catch up, especially with loss. And finally, Monday Night Football, 8:15 p.m., we have the Bills, who are 4-1, at Titans, who are 3-2. Bills, great win, great against the Chiefs. And the Titans, an okay win against the Jaguars. Taking the Bills to win this game, they're, in my opinion, best in the AFC. They're the best roster in the NFL, but they're just slightly behind the Cardinals in my eyes. So I'm going to take the Bills to win this game. And then I already said this before, but I have the 49ers, Saints, Jets, and Falcons. They're all on their bye week, so that's why there's no games between them. But I will go over what they did last week. So last week, the 49ers did lose to the Cardinals in a very close game. Trey Lance's rookie debut played pretty well in my eyes. Saints, pretty good win against the football team, keeping them in that conversation for the South. I believe that's the South. It is. The Jets barely losing to the Falcons in London. And the Falcons barely beating the Jets in London. Falcons kind of in that conversation for the South, but we all know they're not going to win it. And the Jets, they're the Jets, so. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you think I did in the comments, what you would change, and all that. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. This, quickly before I quit recording, I am doing a new series. It is a Falcons franchise. I am not going to be playing any of the games. I'm just going to be watching or simming the games depending, on who they're playing. It should come out every Friday and Monday. And I've already recorded the first episode yesterday. There is not going to really be a consistent recording schedule. There might be. I'd probably say I'd record Tuesdays, maybe Wednesdays, maybe. And that I'll be recording every Friday, that series. I know that much, but I don't know what the other day will be. So look out. It'll be coming this Friday, the first episode. It is currently Wednesday as I record this, and this video will be going out Wednesday. So, I am near the end of my first quarter. It ends Friday, but due to working ahead and wanting to get as much content out for you guys, I did finish early. I did finish today, so that is good. I did get all 70s, well, in the 70s, so not very good grades, but very average. I hope you enjoyed. I did, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.